Okay, good morning, everyone. We're here this morning to do a pretty hands-on clinic for carryovers and no-cost extensions. My name is Angela. I'm the regional director here. As part of our team on today is Eric Watson, our training manager, and Nadia is hiding behind the scenes. She's our communication specialist. There she is. I'm gonna start. But I want to give a couple of low ground rules. First of all, I'm going to do my best to monitor the chat, but should you have a question that you would like to ask right now, please unmute yourself. Feel free to ask me, especially if I haven't seen it in the chat, because I get a little focused on doing some other stuff. I want to try to do my best to answer questions in the moment. So this is who we are. I think everyone knows, but I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that we provide lots of hands-on one-on-one technical assistance. So we're going to do our best to quickly work through the carryover budget and no-cost extension, the items that are needed, and then do any one-on-one assistance and questions. And I think I'll try to stop after the carryover and get questions for sure at that point. I did quickly introduce Eric and Nadia. Larry was supposed to be on here today. Unfortunately, he's not feeling well. So you get me for the whole time at the last minute. And he is our technical assistance manager. He's the one that typically you would send in your requests through our website. And he would route that, either handling it himself, the technical assistant, or route it to one of us to assist you. And again, that's the website. You would go to the technical assistance tab and you can submit online, or you can reach out directly to one of us. The two program specialists for Alaska, so each of you would either have Coda or Jill. So I want to talk about the carryover budget, the no-cost extension, a brief introduction about how you're going to submit your documents through Grant Solutions, and then provide you with the ANA online training website and a little bit about what's there. So getting into the meat of some of this, a quick overview for a carryover budget. These are the items that you need when you go to submit. You need the cover letter that talks about various items. I'll cover a 424, a 424A, your line item budget, your budget narrative, your updated SF 425. So that will include your expenditures and the non-federal share, a revised objective work plan, and an indirect cost, your indirect cost rate agreement. For a no cost extension, you need the cover letter, the 424, the 424A, the 425, and a revised work plan. However, you only need to do the budget and budget justification if you are going to make revisions. And I'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. The carryover budget is only if you have incomplete activities and unspent monies. So when you're doing your reporting in Grant Solutions, you have to ensure that you have activities that have been delayed. Christina.
Yeah, so like activities that, because like I feel like we've met most of our activities. Just it's been a while since I looked at the objective work plan, but you have to have incomplete activities or like activities that had like major hiccups. Does that work too? Like we've had staffing delays and issues with bringing someone on for the project.
So that will not get you a carryover. There does need to be incomplete activities. Now, if the activities had some hiccups and you need to, let's say you were going to train 10 people, but due to something, you could only get 5, and you want to have your rest of your monies go forward to do 5 more people next year, you can do that. If
Okay.
you've completed everything, but you have money and maybe there's some supplies or equipment or extra things that you could really use to enhance the project for next year, this would be the time to spend that money before the budget period ends. And then depending on how much money it is, you might have to submit a quick budget revision. And I can talk in detail about that later.
Okay.
So incomplete activities you have to have with unspent money. You will let your program specialist know, Jill or Coda, that you want to do the carryover. You will fill out all the paperwork, and until it is complete and approved, you cannot spend those monies. Once it is approved, you'll have your new budget and you'll get a new notice of grant award. But remember, you're going to have to complete those additional activities with the activities for your upcoming year. So let's say you're in year 2, going into year 3. When you move those activities forward, you have to do year 3's activities and year 2 incomplete ones. You need the cover letter. The cover letter is going to explain why you have uncompleted activities, your plan for completing them, the exact dollar amount of the federal and the match dollars, the non-federal share. That all has to go in on your tribal letterhead or organizational letterhead, along with a signature by the AOR. You'll have your line item budget and your budget narrative, and you're going to show the details. I just want to mention really quickly your personnel money. When you have personnel funds, whether or not you can carry those funds forward is dependent on a number of factors. Are you trying to carry the money from, let's say, your project director who's full-time because there was a hiring delay? You won't be able to do that because no personnel on a grant can be more than 1 FTE. And John Henry, I'll answer your question in just a minute. If you have personnel that are half-time and you want to add from prior to them, you can do that. If you want to hire an additional person to help with those activities, you can do that. If you want to take that personnel money and move it into supplies or some other piece of equipment, you can do that. But just remember that according to the regulations, no one can be more than 1 FTE, which means no time and a half. John Henry.
I do have a question on the budgeting process, and that involves looking at the federal and non-federal match. Is there a formula that's been used in the past to calculate the non-federal match? And if so, what is that?
Oh, it is 20% of the total project cost, which for A&A equates to 25% of the federal share. We do have a template. So when you're doing a carryover, you will take the year. So let's say you're going from year 2 to year 3. This will be your year 3 budget. And this will be the funds you're going to carry over from year 2. And then this will give you the new dollar amount. So let me just give you a quick show here. And that, let's say you have $1,000 in supplies and you're going to carry over 200. Your new line item going into year 3 is going to be $1,200. And all of that will carry forward here. Now, just remember, you're supposed to spend your match dollars along with your federal dollars. If you have already met your match, you're going to make a notation at the bottom of the template that says match met 100% or something like that. You're going to call it out in big red bold letters, because the odd part about the system is you still have to bring forward the year 2 match in full to meet the total amount that you're carrying forward. So let's say, let me just put a number in here. So if I'm carrying forward $140,200, this is my year 3. I need in this column to meet the match of $67,900 for the $140,000, even if I actually already met my match. And you're going to call that out in your cover letter. You're going to tell them that this match goes with this dollar amount, but that you need to only meet your standard because you already did. Gets a little wonky, but it's because the system won't take it, because according to the regulations, you are supposed to spend, $1 of your federal money and then whatever that equates to in your match. I know it's a little complicated, which is why we offer one-on-one assistance when you're going to fill out these templates. You will need the 425. This form records all of your federal expenditures and shows your unobligated funds. It records your non-federal expenditures, which is your recipient share. These numbers on your 425 need to match the line item budget that you are bringing the money forward from. This form is a form that you can go into the payment management system and print off. You will also need your objective work plan updated. On the objective work plan, you are only going to include the uncompleted activities. For example, let's say I only have these 2 activities left to complete. Your start date is going to be the year you're going into for at least one of the activities, right? Then just like your other objective work plan, you're going to say whenever the next start date is, and you're going to provide a new completion date. In this example, we're going to take the first 2 months and our staff is going to attend some training that they didn't get to complete the year before. And then we're going to take, like 5 or 6 months and complete some other diversity training that they needed to take. On your 424, you're going to fill out the top section saying that you have a changed or corrected application, that this is a revision, and in this, you're going to specify that you have a carryover. You'll fill out the rest of the form, and on the federal and applicant share, this number again also must line up with your line item budget. Those bottom total numbers for what you're bringing forward. You're going to fill out the 424A. You're going to fill it out for your estimated unobligated funds. This is the money you're carrying forward.
You're not going to put your 3rd year, like I know you're talking in 2nd and 3rd year. So when you fill out the 424A, are you only addressing the carryover? You're not addressing the next full fiscal year?
That is correct.
Okay.
And this form can also be completed directly in Grant Solutions. Whether you complete it in Grant Solutions or in the PDF form and upload it to Grant Solutions, I suggest you use this PDF form, if nothing else, to at least make sure you get all the numbers right. I see that happen a lot of times, right? So your line item budget says one thing, your 424 maybe matches, but then some typos happened or some other things, or somebody else is filling out this form and the numbers are different. Anyway, here you're going to put that this is for your SEDS or your SEDS AK. 93,612 is the CFDA number for SEDS. And then again, let's say we have that 140,200 here, and the non-federal, we actually want to go down a line and say 67,900, and this will be non-federal share. Sometimes if you don't do it on the second line, it won't let you fill in this secondary column. Just as in your original submission, the federal share and the non-federal share need to be broken out by the object class categories. You'll fill out where you're getting your non-federal share from, and this one will let you edit, and you can take it out of this line, or you can just use this second line. You're going to tell them that maybe only 60,000 is coming from you, and that other 7,900 is coming, oops, not from the state. Maybe you have someone else helping you, a partner. You're going to break out your forecasted amounts for your federal and non-federal share. I often see folks just divide by 4. If you really think you're going to have a big purchase in one of these quarters, I highly suggest trying to be more accurate with your breakout of federal and non-federal. If you are in year 1 and you're going into year 2, then year 3 is going to be your next year. And you might have, it's the first future year. So this is where it always gets a little confusing. And this is only the federal money for that future year. And here, this is only the non-federal share. Okay, let me see if there's any more questions about the carryover for a couple of things I talked about. Otherwise, I'm going to move forward to the no cost extension.
What's the timeline you have to do the carryover? Do you have past the award period, or do we need to have it done before the award ends?
No, you cannot submit the carryover until you are closing out the year you're in, because otherwise, how do you know how much money you're carrying forward?
Okay, so like after the 29th of September, we can start working on a carryover?
Yes, but my suggestion is that you start filling out as much of the paperwork as possible, so that as soon as accounting gives you those absolute final numbers, you can finalize your spreadsheets, your forms, and get it in, because you cannot spend that money until it's approved.
What's the typical approval time?
It can take anywhere from 30 to 90 days.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So that's,
It depends on how swamped they get, how many carryovers. It gets a little crazy. I've seen them allow you to backdate expenses with a prior approval. It doesn't happen very often, but typically what happens is you're starting year 3 and you're waiting for those year 2 funds to get approved before you sort of complete year 2.
okay, thanks.
Yeah. Now, the no cost extension ANA likes to have them in 45 days before the project period ends. Again, this is only for uncompleted activities and money. You should have let your ANA specialist know that you wanted to have a no cost extension. You're going to gather up all your documents and information, and you're going to submit your request. The no cost extension, unlike the carryover where you're bringing money and adding it to a year's budget, this is only an extension of time to complete the activities with the current funds you have left. You can ask for an extension for up to 12 months. And I tell folks that if you think it's iffy, you think, oh, I could maybe do it in 6. just take the 12. It's always good to be a rock star and complete early than end up going, shoot, I thought I could do it in 6, but I need 9, because you're not going to get the extra 3 months. Again, you're going to use an exact dollar amount for your federal and non-federal share. You're going to explain the activities and your plan. You're going to need that 425. You are going to ask for the extension based on where your current expenditures and non-federal share are. And they all need to match when the Office of Grants Management pulls a report on your funds left. The same holds true for the carryover, by the way. On your 424, if it is strictly a no cost extension, you'll check revision and say no cost extension. If you are looking to do a revision, then you should say no cost extension and budget revision. When you fill out the 424 form for this, it is only on this revised budget. If you're revising the budget, you're going to use these two. If not, you're just looking at this unobligated funds. And that'll match your 425. The same thing, just like the carryover, you're going to give the new start and end dates for the leftover activities. Again, this is only if you're going to do a revision. If you are going to ask for a revision of the budget in your extension period, you must ask for that now, as they are not doing revisions during that time. If you are asking for a revision, that is when you are going to provide a line item budget and a budget narrative. If you are not asking for a revision, you do not need this. However, if you are looking at a revision, it's a different template. You are going to put the year here. So you're in your 3rd year of your 3-year project. Whatever the full budget was, you're going to put that here. Let's say in a grantee meeting was not held face-to-face, it was held virtually. And you want to now revise and move this money for some other items. In this column, you are going to say, I want to move $5,900, so a minus sign, out of the grantee meeting line item. And I want to buy some piece of equipment for $5,000 and a bunch of supply. We'll just bunch of supplies for the other 900. The bottom of the revision should always be 0. Whatever you take from one line item should be moved to other line items. The same thing applies for the non-federal share. Let's say you had a partner that was initially going to provide some large service, and they were $10,000 of your non-federal share. Oh, and by the way, on these new line items, it's really nice if you highlight them in yellow to show that it's something new. It just helps call it out for A&A and the Office of Grants Management Specialist. if you're moving to line items that already existed, you don't need to highlight them. And it's just a suggestion. So this was partner A. Keep putting the cap lock here. And I can't spell. They are providing $10,000. Something happened and they just can't. They have a scheduling conflict, whatever. Well, now you need partner B and maybe partner C. And they can, as these two can provide the service, but only partial each. So maybe this one is going to do $6,000 and this person is going to provide you with $4,000. And this should be the negative, sorry. So this should still be 0. Okay, we mentioned that you can log into Grant Solutions. I believe everyone on here either knows how or someone that your client is with knows how to log in. If you're using the new view, you want to switch back to the classic view. You want to get to manage amendments. And then in here, you're either the documents for a no cost extension or for your carryover. You will select that and begin to upload your documents or enter them online. When you're all done, your status will turn into, as you get these correctly, this should turn into a green check marks for the status change. You can verify your submission and then a submission button will pop up. Oh, and I suggest you do that. Do all your back and forth. Use our team. Let us help you ensure that the numbers are matching, a good extra eyes to look over it, or someone else within your organization, then submit it all. And you might even want to email it to your program specialist first and then submit it, because doing the back and forth through Grant Solutions is not good. It's a lot of extra work to get your program specialist to open up things and allow you to resubmit documents. So I highly, highly suggest getting everything in line before you submit online. Again, just a quick summary of the documents you need and a reminder that if you are doing a revision, this is when you need the budget and budget justification. Please remember to save all of the copies of what you submitted in final version in a file somewhere. I have seen mistakes happen. I have seen emails get lost. I've seen Grant Solutions have a glitch, and even though you submitted, they didn't get it. I mean, just all kinds of quirky little things, right? It's the electronic technology ghosts and gremlins that are in the systems that seem to get us. And if you need them, they're easily accessible to resubmit. So make sure that all your federal systems, your password hasn't expired, all your users are up to date, get your documents up to date. And again, remember, we are here to help you. There is no bad questions. You call us up and it seems like, oh gosh, they just have the answer to that at the tip of their tongue. Yep, that's because we do it all day, every day. And you have many other funders to deal with, and everybody has a different process. So our job is to know the best solutions for A&A right off the tip of our tongue. Please don't hesitate to email and ask us questions. There's an evaluation that Nadia is going to drop in the chat. We hope that this was helpful. We do have time. We're going to work with anyone and answer more questions, but in the meantime, if you do have something else going on and you need some time to go do that, that's great. We just asked you to fill out the evaluation. This is how you can reach us. We have a toll-free number. You can pick who you want to talk to. Our website, on the website, when you come to our website, if you just have a quick question, you can simply just select that from the front page, select a date, who you're with, your contact information, and ask the question. This will go right to Larry and he will either answer it or assign it to one of us to answer. If you've been working with one of us already and you just want to ask one of us a question, feel free to say, route this to Angela or Eric and submit. If you come to the home page, and Nadia put it in there, so I'll plug her for you. If you're not signed up for the newsletter, please do so. We have all kinds of goodies we announce, including other fundings that happen, tribal consultations that we're hearing about. We also do that through Facebook. Please feel free to follow us there. We do webinars. We announce these clinics. If you're looking for more technical assistance on your actual no-cost extension or carryover documents, you can click Request Technical Assistance. It doesn't matter. It's offsite informal. If you don't remember that, it doesn't matter. It will get routed to the right place. Your organization, who you are. If you are a consultant working with an organization, we need to have permission from them in order to work with you directly. So let us know who that is, and so we can get that permission. And here you can drop your files. It will all be in the nice submission line, and Larry can either assign it. Again, if you had been working with Eric, and this is a nice convenient place for you to drop those files, you can say here, please send this to Eric. For whatever reason, let's say it was a little larger of a file and it maybe didn't want to go through the email, you can put it here, which is why I want to make sure I show that as well and say that you can route it to whoever you've been working with. If you haven't been working with anybody, Larry will assign it based on workloads.